Hey everybody, it's Kaj, and I'm gonna try to make it fast to answer the big question, how did the soap go? So yeah, here's my polysatin sleep cap. Taking it off because I don't need that. I just got ready for the day. Let me see if I can make this lighter so you can see what's going on. Okay. Yeah, here's my hair. It doesn't look any different, which is a good thing. When you soak your hair and your hair looks drastically different or the water looks drastically different, that means there was buildup. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good that you got the buildup off. But in the future, if you have a regular soaking routine, you want to make sure you get to a point where the water doesn't look significantly different and your hair doesn't look significantly different, because that means that the products that you're using and the methods that you're using are actually working in a residue-free fashion. So yeah, no huge drastic changes to report of, except for my scalp, which is great. That was a huge area that I wanted to improve on, because I was getting to a point where I was very self-conscious about my scalp being really dry and flaky, because I didn't want strangers looking at my head and being like, oh, she's got locks and her head is nasty and locks are nasty. Like, I don't want to subject our community to that kind of, scrutiny. So, I try to be on my best presentation as far as my hair goes, where reasonable, because I know strangers are jerks and I don't want a negative thought about me personally to translate or inform a stranger's opinion of all the rest of you. So that's just how I feel. You don't have to feel the same way. I'm just weird. But yeah, there were two things that I could have done to make everything work better though. Firstly, before I forget, yes, the orange blossom water worked well. I've been mixing it with aloe and spritzing my hair and my face with it every day. I like it a lot. It's really light, but it's still moisturizing without, being greasy or making any part of me feel slippery. And then secondly, on to the actual two things that I wanted to talk about was heat and heat in two different forms. So the first one I want to talk about was hot water, because I ran out of hot water. I used it all when I was clarifying my hair with the clarifying shampoo. So then when I went to go to the sink and soak my hair with the citric acid crystals in it, I was out of hot water. And I didn't want to put clothes on and go downstairs and heat up hot water on the stove to whatever I could safely stand. But I didn't do that. So then I filled up the sink with lukewarm water thinking, oh, it'll work the same. It didn't work exactly the same. I've done that soak in the past and gotten, much softer hair and better results just by using much hotter water. So if you're thinking about doing an acid soak, whether it would be with citric acid, stearic acid, or stearic acid, or acetic acid, which is vinegar, then I definitely recommend using hot water. It just works a lot better. Just trust me, you gotta feel it for yourself. Secondly was heat, not in the form of water, but just external heat as far as the coconut milk soap goes. So I rinsed my hair off after the citric acid rinse. Then I rinsed my hair off with the clean water after doing the citric acid soak. Then I just scooped up coconut milk on my hands and coated it down my hair. If I had dumped it, all the coconut milk would have stuck at the crown of my head, and the ends of my hair wouldn't have gotten much love. So I used my hands and tried to coat it as evenly as possible. Then I wrapped it up in a plastic bag and played video games for a half hour. The heat from my head did work because my roots are really, really soft. But as far as my ends go, there isn't a huge difference. There was an improvement, but there wasn't a huge difference like I was expecting because I didn't add heat. when people suggest, doing these kinds of deep condition treatments, they suggest, sitting under a hooded hairdryer for a little bit, or, using a handheld hairdryer and warming everything up for about a minute or two. And the plastic traps in the heat, but yeah, just getting it warmed up nice and, toasty in the beginning. And the reason for that is, especially in the case of the coconut milk, is coconut milk contains coconut oil. And coconut oil is one of the few oils that has strong documentation to suggest that the amount of coconut oil that your hair absorbs is at least somewhat proportionate to the amount of heat applied. So, I mean, if everything is warm and nice and toasty, then your hair will soak up more of the coconut oil than if it were kind of, cooler in temperature. So, you'll just get more oil penetration and like more positive benefits with a penetrating oil such as coconut oil or babasu oil if you just use heat. So if I were to go back to past me and be like, hey, do these things, I would definitely say use hot water for that citric acid soak, and definitely borrow my roommate's hairdryer for the coconut milk treatment as well. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it still worked. My head feels so much better. So I would certainly do it over again if, you don't have access to hot water, or if you don't have access to a hairdryer. I don't own a hairdryer, but there's one in the house I can borrow, I'm sure. But yeah, it was worth doing for sure. But for anybody out there wanting to maximize their results, hopefully this helps a little bit. Heat. Not too hot, but be safe. All right. Well, hopefully this was worth watching, and yeah, I hope to see you guys later. I'm trying to get in the habit of vlogging, so I hope this isn't too boring or strange. I'm still getting used to it. It's fun. It's fun. All right. Well, I'll see you guys later. And if you have any suggestions for videos or anything else you'd want to see, just drop me a line in the comments. Oh, I'm lagging. Am I back? Nope. It's time to go. All right. Bye.